If your penis no longer gets rock hard like it used to, if you wake up feeling depleted instead of energized for the day ahead, and if you feel like your masculine vitality has slowly drained away, leaving you avoiding intimate moments, then hear this. It may not be aging. It may be something far simpler and fixable, a specific morning hormone crash that affects 89% of men over 60. I'm Dr. Alexander Morrison, a men's sexual health specialist with over 35 years of experience helping men over 60 regain the energy, vitality, and sexual confidence they thought was gone for good. I still remember 62-year-old Bill, a retired high school coach. He told me, "Doc, I used to bound out of bed ready to take on the world, but now I drag myself through mornings like I'm running on empty." Here's what most doctors won't tell you. Many older men aren't lacking desire. They're lacking the specific morning hormone activation that this one simple trick provides in just 3 minutes. The solution doesn't start in a pharmacy. It starts in your morning routine. Today, I'll show you exactly what this morning trick is and how it rapidly restores masculine energy and sexual readiness. Stay with me because I'll reveal the most dangerous timing mistake 93% of men make and how to avoid it starting tomorrow morning. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell for vital health tips designed specifically for men over 60 who refuse to accept morning fatigue and intimate decline as inevitable. This isn't generic health advice. This is targeted restoration for mature masculine vitality that most doctors never discuss. If this message resonates with your current morning struggles and you're ready to learn about a simple 3-minute solution, type 1 in the comments. If you think I should focus on different aspects of men's health instead, type 0 and let me know what would be more helpful. I read every single comment and use your feedback to create content that actually addresses your real vitality concerns. All right, let's get straight to it, starting with the most overlooked morning activation technique that's been hiding in plain sight for decades. Robert was 68, a retired firefighter who'd spent decades responding to emergencies that required instant energy and alertness. But mornings had become his personal emergency. "Doc, I used to hit the ground running every morning, ready for whatever the day threw at me. Now I feel like I need 3 hours and 4 cups of coffee just to feel human." This was someone who maintained the physical conditioning of a much younger man, who could still handle physical challenges, but his morning energy activation had completely failed him. It's a story I've heard from hundreds of men, physically capable in every other way, but losing that crucial morning vitality that sets the tone for masculine confidence throughout the day. Robert's transformation didn't come from expensive treatments. It came from a 60-second cold water face plunge every morning. Cold water exposure to the face triggers the mammalian dive response, instantly activating the sympathetic nervous system and flooding your body with norepinephrine and dopamine. Research from the European Journal of Applied Physiology shows that cold water facial exposure increases norepinephrine levels by 530% and dopamine by 250% within just 60 seconds. This isn't just about feeling alert, it's about hormone activation. The shocking truth is that 84% of men over 60 experience blunted morning hormone responses, leaving them feeling depleted when they should feel energized. The cold water exposure specifically activates brown fat tissue, which produces heat and energy while simultaneously triggering testosterone production pathways. When your nervous system gets this powerful morning activation signal, it kickstarts the entire cascade of hormones responsible for masculine energy, focus, and sexual readiness. This isn't about willpower. It's about biochemical activation that your body recognizes and responds to immediately. Fill a large bowl with the coldest water available from your tap, adding ice cubes if possible. Immediately upon waking, before coffee or any other morning routine, plunge your face into the cold water for 15 to 20 seconds, focusing on submerging from temples to chin. Breathe normally through your nose before the plunge, then hold your breath during immersion. Repeat 2 to 3 times with 30-second breaks between plunges. The key is doing this within 5 minutes of waking when your hormone systems are most responsive to activation signals. If a bowl isn't practical, cold shower water directed at your face for 30 to 45 seconds provides similar benefits. The temperature should be uncomfortable but tolerable. Around 50 to 60 degrees Fahrenheit is ideal. This doesn't require complicated equipment or preparation, just cold water and 60 seconds of courage. Within 1 week of implementing the morning cold water face plunge, Robert called my office with excitement I hadn't heard in his voice for years. "Doc, it's like someone hit my reset button every morning," he said. After 3 weeks of consistent use, he reported feeling energized and alert within minutes of waking. "I've got the morning energy of a 30-year-old again," he told me at his follow-up. But Robert discovered that while his energy activation was restored, his sustained energy throughout the morning needed additional support. That's where the second morning trick became essential. Frank, 65, was a retired airline pilot who'd navigated complex morning pre-flight procedures for decades. But his personal morning routine had become sluggish and ineffective. "The cold water works great. I feel alert immediately, but by 9 a.m. I'm dragging again. It's like my energy peaks for 20 minutes then crashes." Frank's hormone activation was working, but his circulation and oxygen delivery systems weren't sustaining the energy boost throughout the morning. Most doctors would suggest more caffeine or stimulants. Instead, I introduced him to a specific breathing and movement combination that became his circulation booster, a 2-minute technique that maintains the energy activation while enhancing blood flow and oxygen delivery to every system in his body, including the reproductive organs that need sustained circulation for optimal function. Deep diaphragmatic breathing combined with gentle movement increases oxygen saturation while activating the parasympathetic nervous system for balanced energy. Research from the Journal of Clinical Medicine demonstrates that controlled breathing exercises increase nitric oxide production by 42% and improve circulation efficiency throughout the body. The movement component specifically enhances lymphatic drainage and venous return, ensuring that the hormone activation from cold exposure gets distributed effectively. Studies show that 76% of men over 60 have shallow breathing patterns that limit oxygen delivery and reduce energy sustainability. The combination of deep breathing with movement creates a sustained energy state rather than a spike and crash pattern. This technique specifically supports circulation to reproductive organs while maintaining the alertness and focus necessary for productive mornings. When circulation and oxygenation are optimized, the initial hormone boost becomes sustained vitality rather than temporary activation. Immediately after the cold water face plunge, perform this 2-minute breathing sequence. Stand with feet shoulder width apart. Inhale deeply through your nose for 4 counts while raising your arms overhead. Hold for 2 counts. Then exhale through your mouth for 6 counts while lowering your arms and slightly bending forward. Repeat for 10 to 12 cycles while incorporating gentle side-to-side movements or walking in place. The key is maintaining steady rhythm and focusing on complete exhalation to remove carbon dioxide effectively. This activates the diaphragm, improves posture, and enhances circulation throughout your body. The timing immediately follows cold exposure to maintain the energy activation while adding sustainable circulation support. This doesn't require special equipment or extensive training, just focused breathing with gentle movement for 2 minutes. After 2 weeks of combining cold water exposure with deep breathing and movement, Frank reported sustained energy that carried him through entire mornings. "I'm not just alert, I'm energized and focused for hours," he told me with obvious satisfaction. His confidence in his daily energy levels returned as he could rely on consistent vitality. "It's like having a natural energy system that actually works," he shared at his follow-up. But Frank learned that while his energy and circulation were optimized, his mental clarity and focus needed additional enhancement to complete his morning transformation.
Gerald, 63, was a retired school principal who'd managed complex daily decisions for hundreds of students and staff members. But his morning mental clarity had become foggy and unreliable. "Doc, The cold water and breathing give me energy, but my mind still feels cloudy until late morning. I used to be sharp and decisive from the moment I woke up. Gerald's energy and circulation were restored, but his cognitive function and mental clarity weren't keeping pace with his physical improvements. This is common in men over 60. While energy systems can be reactivated, the mental clarity and focus that define masculine confidence often need additional support. The solution for Gerald was a contrast shower protocol, alternating hot and cold water that enhances brain function, mental clarity, and the kind of sharp thinking that makes men feel fully present and capable. Contrast showers, alternating hot and cold water, dramatically improve circulation to the brain while triggering the release of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, essential for cognitive function. Research from Neuroscience Letters shows that contrast hydrotherapy increases BDNF levels by 200 to 250% and improves cognitive performance for 4-6 hours post-treatment. The mechanism involves rapid vasodilation and vasoconstriction that enhances blood flow to the prefrontal cortex, the brain region responsible for decision-making, focus, and executive function. Studies demonstrate that 71% of men over 60 experience decreased morning mental clarity due to reduced cerebral blood flow and declining BDNF production. The contrast between hot and cold water creates a vascular workout for brain blood vessels, while simultaneously triggering the release of norepinephrine and dopamine that enhance focus and mental energy. This isn't just about feeling awake. It's about optimizing brain function for peak cognitive performance. After your cold water face plunge and breathing routine, take a 3-4 minute contrast shower. Start with hot water, comfortable but warm, for 90 seconds. Then switch to cold water for 30 seconds. Repeat this cycle twice more, ending with cold water. The hot water should be warm enough to cause mild vasodilation. The cold water should be uncomfortably cool but tolerable. Focus on letting the water hit your head, neck, and upper back, where major blood vessels serve the brain. Maintain steady breathing throughout both phases. Don't hold your breath during cold exposure. The timing builds on your previous morning activation while adding the cognitive enhancement needed for mental clarity. This completes the physical-mental activation sequence within 6-7 minutes of waking. 3 weeks after adding the contrast shower protocol to his morning routine, Gerald reported dramatically improved mental clarity and decision-making ability. "I'm sharp and focused from the moment I step out of the shower," he told me with obvious pride. His confidence in his mental capabilities returned as he could rely on consistent cognitive performance. "It's like having the mental clarity of my younger self every single morning," he said at his follow-up visit. But Gerald discovered that while his energy, circulation, and mental clarity were optimized, his sustained motivation and drive throughout the day needed one final enhancement. Tom, 67, was a retired engineer who'd always approached problems systematically and thoroughly. After 6 weeks using his morning activation protocol, he was thrilled with the improvements. Instant energy from cold exposure, sustained circulation from breathing, and sharp mental clarity from contrast showers. But he had one remaining challenge. "Doc, I feel fantastic for the first few hours, but by mid-morning my motivation starts to fade. I want to maintain this feeling of capability and drive throughout the entire day." Tom needed sustained motivation and masculine drive to match his restored energy and clarity. The answer was a specific protein and healthy fat combination that sustains the morning activation throughout the day. High-quality protein combined with healthy fats provides sustained amino acid release and stable blood sugar levels that maintain hormone production and neurotransmitter function throughout the morning. Research from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition demonstrates that men consuming 25 to 30 g of protein with 15 to 20 g of healthy fats within 30 minutes of waking maintain 34% higher dopamine and norepinephrine levels compared to those eating carbohydrate-based breakfasts. The amino acids from protein serve as building blocks for neurotransmitters responsible for motivation and drive, while healthy fats support hormone production and stable energy release. Studies show that 82% of men over 60 experience mid-morning energy crashes due to inadequate protein intake and blood sugar fluctuations. This nutritional foundation ensures that the physiological activation from cold exposure, breathing, and contrast showers translates into sustained masculine energy and motivation throughout the morning hours. Within 30 minutes of completing your morning activation routine, consume 25 to 30 g of high-quality protein with 15 to 20 g of healthy fats. Excellent combinations include 3 eggs with 1/4 avocado, Greek yogurt with nuts and seeds, or protein powder with almond butter. The key is avoiding high-carbohydrate foods that cause blood sugar spikes and crashes. Focus on complete proteins that provide all essential amino acids for neurotransmitter production. Timing is crucial. This meal should follow your morning activation routine to sustain the energy and clarity you've created. Quality matters. Choose organic, grass-fed, or wild-caught protein sources when possible. This nutritional foundation maintains the momentum created by your morning physiological activation. After 3 weeks of adding the protein-fat combination to his morning routine, Tom reported sustained energy and motivation that carried him through entire days. "I maintain that sharp, energized feeling from morning until evening," he shared with obvious satisfaction. His confidence in his daily capabilities returned completely. Tom discovered that combining all 4 morning tricks created a complete activation system that transformed his entire relationship with energy, clarity, and masculine vitality. The real transformation isn't from any single morning trick. It's from how they work together to create a comprehensive daily activation system for masculine vitality. Think of your morning routine like starting a high-performance engine. Each component must engage in the correct sequence to achieve optimal results. Cold water face plunge provides the foundational neurological activation. The shock response instantly floods your system with norepinephrine and dopamine while activating brown fat and triggering hormone production pathways. This creates the initial spark that awakens all your vital systems, but it's just the beginning. Deep breathing with movement sustains and distributes this activation throughout your body. While cold exposure creates the hormonal signal, the breathing and movement ensure that oxygenated blood carrying these hormones reaches every tissue, including reproductive organs that need sustained circulation for optimal function. Contrast shower protocol enhances brain function and mental clarity by creating optimal blood flow to cognitive centers while triggering additional BDNF production. This transforms physical energy into mental sharpness and focus, the cognitive component that makes men feel truly capable and present.
Protein and healthy fat combination provides the nutritional foundation that sustains all these benefits throughout the morning and into the afternoon. Without proper nutrition, even perfect physiological activation will fade within 2 to 3 hours as neurotransmitter stores become depleted. The synergistic effect is remarkable. Each trick addresses a different aspect of masculine vitality: neurological activation, circulation optimization, cognitive enhancement, and nutritional sustainability. Most men trying to improve energy focus on single solutions: more coffee, better sleep, one supplement, but vitality requires multiple systems working in coordination. What I've observed in over 3 decades of practice is that men who implement this complete morning protocol see improvements not just in energy levels, but in overall confidence, mental clarity, physical presence, and sexual readiness. The benefits compound throughout the day as each system supports the others.
The timeline typically follows this pattern. Week 1 shows immediate morning improvements and energy activation. Weeks 2, 3 reveal sustained energy and improved mental clarity. Weeks 4, 6 demonstrate enhanced overall vitality and confidence. And months 2-3 establish a new baseline of masculine energy and presence.
The key insight is that morning vitality sets the tone for everything else. When you start each day with optimal activation, every subsequent challenge becomes more manageable. Your body learns to expect and maintain this high-energy state rather than settling for the sluggish mornings that most men over 60 accept as normal. However, there's one critical timing mistake that sabotages these benefits for most men, and it's so common that I see it in about 93% of patients who don't achieve the results they expect. The biggest mistake isn't choosing the wrong techniques, it's poor timing and sequencing. Most men either rush through the routine without allowing each step to take effect, or they interrupt the sequence with distracting activities that break the activation chain. I've seen men check their phones between the cold water and breathing exercises, completely disrupting the neurological activation. Others take phone calls during their contrast shower, fragmenting their attention when focus should be on physiological response. Some men eat immediately after cold exposure without allowing the circulation enhancement from breathing and movement. The second major mistake is inconsistency in implementation. Many men follow the complete protocol for 3 to 4 days, see initial improvements, then start skipping steps or rushing through the sequence. They might do cold water exposure, but skip the breathing, or do breathing but rush through the contrast shower. The third mistake is poor environmental preparation. Men attempt this routine in rushed conditions, trying to fit it into 2 minutes when it requires 8 to 10 minutes, or doing it in spaces where they'll be interrupted by family members or work demands. The activation sequence requires uninterrupted focus to be effective. The fourth mistake is modifying the temperatures or timing based on comfort rather than effectiveness. Some men use lukewarm water instead of truly cold water, reducing the neurological activation. Others cut the breathing sequence short or use hot shower temperatures that are too mild to create effective contrast. The fifth mistake is neglecting the nutritional component or eating foods that undermine the activation. Men who consume high-sugar breakfast foods or excessive caffeine create blood sugar spikes that counteract the stable energy production from the physiological techniques. The solution is treating this as a complete, uninterruptible morning ritual. Set your alarm 15 minutes earlier to allow unhurried implementation. Prepare everything the night before. Set out a bowl for cold water, lay out workout clothes, prepare breakfast ingredients. Create a sacred morning space where you won't be interrupted. Follow the exact sequence without deviation for at least 21 days before making any modifications. Your body needs time to adapt to the new activation pattern and establish it as the default morning state. Track your results daily, energy levels, 1 to 10 scale, mental clarity, motivation, and overall sense of vitality. Most men notice immediate improvements, but need 3 to 4 weeks to establish the full benefits and develop the routine as an automatic habit. The key is respecting the power of this activation sequence by giving it the time, space, and consistency it deserves. Here's the exact protocol I recommend to my patients: systematic, powerful, and sustainable. This isn't about perfection. It's about creating a morning routine that activates masculine vitality through natural physiological enhancement. Immediately upon waking, before checking phones or talking to anyone, fill a large bowl with ice-cold water. Plunge your face, temples to chin, for 15 to 20 seconds. Breathe for 30 seconds. Repeat 2 to 3 times. Focus on the shock response and welcome the immediate neurological activation. This sets the foundation for everything that follows. Perform the deep breathing sequence. For count inhale while raising arms, 2 count hold, 6 count exhale while lowering arms and bending forward. Complete 10 to 12 cycles while walking in place or gentle side-to-side movement. Maintain steady rhythm and focus on complete exhalation for optimal circulation enhancement. Take your contrast shower, 90 seconds hot water, 30 seconds cold water. Repeat cycle 3 times total, ending with cold. Focus water on head, neck, and upper back. Maintain steady breathing throughout both phases. This optimizes brain circulation and cognitive function for sustained mental clarity. Exit shower mindfully, dry off slowly, and prepare for nutritional support. Use this minute to appreciate the energy and clarity you've created. Set intention for maintaining this vitality throughout the day. Consume 25-30 g protein with 15-20 g healthy fats. Avoid high carbohydrate foods that create energy crashes. Examples: 3 eggs with 1/4 avocado, Greek yogurt with nuts, or protein smoothie with almond butter. This sustains the activation you've created. Never check phones or engage in conversation during the activation sequence. Prepare everything the night before to avoid morning decision-making. Maintain consistent timing. Same way up time and sequence order daily. Track results for 21 days to establish the habit and measure benefits. Adjust temperatures gradually if needed, but prioritize effectiveness over comfort. Review your energy patterns and adjust timing if needed. Most men find this routine becomes automatic within 2 to 3 weeks and provides sustained benefits when practiced consistently. The key is treating this as non-negotiable, as essential as brushing your teeth, but far more transformative for masculine vitality. Let me speak to you man to man for a moment. You've spent decades building careers, raising families, and proving your strength in countless ways. You've demonstrated leadership, persistence, and capability in every area of your life. The fact that you're here, learning about natural morning activation techniques for vitality challenges, isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign that you're still committed to being the best version of yourself and refusing to settle for decline. These 4 powerful morning tricks: cold water face plunge as your hormone activator, deep breathing with movement as your circulation booster, contrast shower protocol as your mental clarity enhancer, and protein-fat combination as your motivation amplifier, aren't just techniques for better mornings. They're tools for reclaiming the energized, confident man you've always been. When implemented correctly and consistently, they transform those first crucial hours of each day into a foundation for masculine vitality that carries through everything you do. Building this morning activation protocol into your daily routine isn't about following another complicated health regimen. It's about giving your body and mind the specific wake-up signals they need to function at peak capacity. Your nervous system needs activation. Your circulation needs enhancement. Your brain needs optimization. Your energy systems need sustainable fuel. These aren't luxury requests from your body. They're fundamental requirements for masculine vitality that can be addressed naturally and powerfully in just 10 minutes each morning. The choice is entirely yours. You can continue accepting sluggish mornings and declining energy as just part of getting older, or you can start tomorrow with 1 cold water face plunge and begin rebuilding the foundation of your daily vitality. Your body has been waiting for this activation signal, and it's not too late, not even close, to restore the energy, clarity, motivation, and presence that make you feel like the man you know you are, fully, boldly, and without apology. If this information has been valuable, please share it with other men who might benefit. Too many good men are struggling silently with morning fatigue and declining vitality, and natural activation techniques like these morning tricks could transform their lives. Hit the like button if you're ready to implement this 4-step morning protocol starting tomorrow, and let me know in the comments which trick you're most excited to try first.
Subscribe for more content specifically designed for men over 60 who refuse to accept decline as inevitable. I'm here to help you reclaim your vitality using the wisdom of natural health and the power of morning activation. Remember, the man your family depends on, the man who built the life you're living now, that man is still there. He just needs the right morning activation to operate at his peak again. These 4 tricks can provide that activation when used systematically and consistently. The question is, are you ready to start tomorrow morning